Hi, I'm Natalie.
And I'm Shay.
And this is Delusional
As fuck.
Welcome back.
We hope that your guys' week is off to a wonderful start. And if you celebrate Easter, hope you had a good Easter. Earth Day's tomorrow. That's fun. What an eventful week. And this Saturday is my birthday.
Do you have any birthday plans?
Not that I know of yet. We're working on it.
Lobster's
a requirement. That's the only requirement on the docket for me. I want a fat, juicy lobster tail with a pound of butter, and anything else that happens along the way is just going to be a plus. And then the following week is the Bachelorette. My Bachelorette. I don't know why I said the Bachelorette. Like, it's just a random one, like literally mine. So that's another reason why I'm just like, I'm down for a low-key birthday, because the next weekend we're going to be having a lot of fun and doing a lot of things. So don't want to like tire myself out, you know, getting a little older. Need to conserve my energy.
It's going to be so fun. I'm so excited to celebrate you, and it's great timing. Your birthday, the week after is your batch. We're going to be in San Diego. I'm so excited. It's going to be so great.
You know, there was an earthquake in San Diego today.
Shay, I did not need this negativity right now. There's no way.
No,
was it bad?
We already got it out of the way. It wasn't bad in the sense that, like, I don't think there was really much like structural damage. It's not like it was, you know, leveling any buildings or anything, but it was, I think, nearly a 7-point earthquake. That's really big.
A 7?
Yes.
No.
And
stop it. We know people in San Diego. When was
it?
This?
Was this morning. And okay, one of my friends, I don't know if she wants people to know that she lives there, but one of my friends that lives in San Diego, I texted her after because my coworkers are in like LA County. Some of them are in the OC area, so they were all talking about it. And then some of them were saying that they felt it a lot, and we were on a call, and some of my coworkers were like, wasn't it like in San Diego? Like, how was it so strong by you? And then some of them were saying like, oh, I'm in the OC right now. And then I was like, oh my God, San Diego. I texted my friend that lives in San Diego because that's like essentially the epicenter. And she was like, I didn't even notice it. And I was like, what do you mean? She was like, yeah, it was apparently only like 3 miles away, but for some reason I didn't notice it.
Queen.
Honestly,
queen,
unbothered
queen. It was a 5.2.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like 6 or something, but that's still not small.
That is quite significant.
Mm-hmm. And there were people on TikTok, of course, that posted footage, like their home security cam footage of when it happened, and you could visibly see the house shaking. And so it cracked me up even more, knowing that she was just like fully unbothered in her own little world while the whole city is shaking, quaking.
Was she asleep? Or?
She was awake. She said she was cleaning. And she was listening to music cleaning, and she just didn't notice.
Oh yeah, I understand now.
She was in her zone.
When you're in the zone with AirPods on, anything could happen. You'll have no idea.
Yeah, but it would have been very startling if it happened while we were there. It would have been a story to tell for sure. But yeah, that's where we're gonna be next week, and I can't wait.
Me either. It's going to be such a time. I'm so excited for Shay. All the fun things that are planned. It's going to be great. It's going to be fantastic.
And you're finally going to meet all of my friends, which Natalie hasn't gotten to do because our friendship began pre-COVID. We all know this, yada, 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 whatever. But then she moved back up to NorCal, as we also know, but all of my friends live in SoCal. So there's just like never been a time where we're all in the same place together. So I'm very excited for that. They're all very excited to meet you, and because of the podcast they like all feel like they kind of know you, which is so interesting.
I mean, whatever, I'm down for it, and I'm sure I'm gonna love all of them.
On the topic of the Bachelorette, since we've been looking for our outfits, this is the grievance that I've wanted to share with just fast fashion. But I've had this observation and a grievance on one of the current trends, and it's just very interesting because I was looking for a matching set to wear during the daytime of one of the days that we're there, and I was searching like summer women's matching set, Why are all of the linen matching sets right now giving, how do I say, medical scrubs and or loony bin patient?
Yeah, remember one of my pajama outfits actually for the cover, it was giving that. Like it was giving hospital bed sheet.
Yes.
And gown.
Yes.
Both of them in one.
Yes. And I can see situations where those can look cute, like even maybe in the country with some little boots, a little bow in your hair. There are definitely spaces where that makes sense, but the variety is very much lacking.
I agree. Maybe stray away from linen if possible. I think maybe the linen is the problem. I think I like linen as a material. I think it's really pretty. But yeah.
Yeah. It's just frustrating because sensory wise, I like linen. And that's why I want the linen, because there's a lot of materials that I do not like touching my skin. So I'm like, linen does seem nice functionally. But yeah, I don't think it's going to happen right now because they're literally all giving loony bin. I'm like, everyone's walking around looking like a patient.
Oh, hot take.
Do you not think some of them, especially like the baby blue ones or like the blue and white stripes, giving actual patient?
Well, that was my pajama set that I remember. I felt like a patient in that thing. It was driving me nuts. I mean, it was really cheapo stuff that I like, getting desperate kind of to just have something for the cover when I didn't know what I was going to wear. And it's the blue, that shade of light blue on a linen will never not be giving hospital gown, like full on hospital gown. And it, especially if it has like the ties, you know, because it's the same situation where it's like ties in the back and your butt's out when you're admitted. It's giving inpatient.
And I was just thinking, this is like this current era's version of like the business casual streetwear.
Huh?
Like how business casual streetwear was in like the 20 teens.
Oh, like wearing blazers for fun.
Yeah. Yeah. And right now it's like hospital patient or medical professional core.
Maybe okay.
I was literally seeing some of these outfits. I was searching matching sets, looking through them, and some of them literally look like nurse scrubs or doctor scrubs.
Yeah,
it's the same silhouette and similar fabric. So I'm like, what are we doing here? Anyways, I feel like we need to move on, but it's been stressing me out and it's just interesting to see. And I hope we move on from the fad quickly.
Have you tried thrifting?
Girl, yes. Of course. Of course. I've tried everything, but I think I'm just in this phase where I think so much is ugly. I don't know what's wrong with me. It's really infuriating.
It's because honestly, so much is ugly. So much is ugly. We're in the era of just ugly clothes that are probably produced in like 25 minutes and they look like it. And there's just no creativity. It's very much like trendy copy paste, cheap, fast fashion, mass production.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the fact that now any like online shop that you go to has all of the same stuff. That's what's pissing me off even more. Because at least, I don't know, even maybe 4 or 5 years ago, you kind of knew what you would be getting depending on like which online store you were going to. Everyone had their own brand, right? And now it's the same. Every single place is the same, just with a different label. Yeah,
that's quite literally what it is. Is it called white labeling, where they just put their labels on stuff? Let's see.
Where you buy it from a wholesaler, tagless, and then you just slap on your label.
Yep, that's what it is.
Yeah. It's an epidemic, and I'm upset, and I'm disappointed.
It's upsetting.
Frankly, I'm disappointed.
Ugh, yeah. Remember my ginormous crash out over the state of thrifting like last week?
Yes.
And I was really upset. I was really upset about the fact that I felt like thrifting has been completely ruined because Goodwill, Savers, all these big corporations are taking all this donated free clothing and upcharging it times 2,000, also picking out all of the nice brands so that they can resell it on their own. And like, they are not providing the public with all these good clothes because they want to make their own profit on the side. And it was really upsetting me because specifically I have a local thrift store that I love and I have been going to consistently for a very long time, finding great stuff, loving my experience, good prices. And then all of a sudden it was like basic tank top, no details on it, spaghetti strap with a hole in the side, $6.89. And I'm like, what do you mean? There's what? Why? Like, I'm confused. And it was like everything $6.89, like just starting price, and then like $15, $18, and I'm like, whoa, this is like, no, what's going on? But today I went to a different Goodwill specifically. Just happened to be in the area that I was in. It's not my usual area. It's not my usual Goodwill. And I was like, okay, I found the good shit here. So it gave me hope again.
Yeah.
Because I was able to get a genuine leather jacket, which I'm very excited about. I don't know how I found that. I really came up on that one. I got another pair of leather boots. Now I'm feeling like consumption final boss, which is really annoying. But listen, I have a lot coming up. So many events, so many weddings, the Bachelorette. I'm keeping in mind, even though I don't know that I found anything specifically for that. But I had my hope restored, my faith restored a little bit in the state of thrifting.
Yeah. You know what? I think thrifting anywhere near like a major metropolitan area, things are going to be hiked up. And I think something that me and Zach may be doing for my birthday, TBD, is spending a night out by the coast. And it's a bunch of smaller towns out by the Oregon coast. So I'm like, ooh, that might be an activity that I will be partaking in when I'm out there, because usually the prices are not like, they're not like price gouging. Is that the right term?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So stay tuned. But today's Bestie Girl Chat. Welcome.
If we're talking about thrifting, you know that it's a Bestie Girl Chat.
Yes. I feel like we really get fired up talking about thrifting, the state of the no, we're not going to go there actually. What should I talk about first? 23andMe or chemical peel? 23andMe we've been waiting on for a while. And it's kind of crazy. Okay, you guys. If you're new here, I've been waiting on my 23andMe test results since January 3rd. They did come in a couple weeks ago, but I haven't shared them with Natalie because I wanted to share them here live on the pod, because I promised that when I sent them in. And mine took very, very long. It says it should take about a month or a month and a half to get your results back. I believe 4 to 6 weeks. And I've been wanting to do this forever because I am a very mixed child. So I grew up believing that I am half Filipino, which is very believable because my grandparents immigrated from the Philippines. I guess my dad did as well, but he was a toddler, so he doesn't really remember. But I knew they were Filipino for sure. Right.
Okay.
On my mom's side, the story goes that my mom is half Scottish/Irish and half Mexican. My grandmother being Mexican, my grandfather being Irish, right? And so I go into it expecting maybe a little bit of Spanish as well, because the Philippines, the Spaniards, right? We know that story. And also I have like my Filipino last name is like technically like a Spanish last name. And so I was like, I was colonized at one point for sure. So if you've listened to, this was like an old episode, the Ugly Duckling arc. is
Mm-hmm.
when we were talking about our ethnic background,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I was saying that I never felt like I fit in because where I grew up, it was predominantly Latino. And I would tell them, no, I swear, I am a little bit. I am 25%. I was like clinging on to that 25% Mexican like my whole life, right? And so, like I said, my test results were taking forever to come in. It was like past the 6-week mark, and I was like, I'm calling them. I'm going to call 23andMe up. I call them, and this man, bless his heart, he was very helpful. And I was like, I think there's been like an issue with my results or something. Just want to make sure that everything's okay. And he was like, yes, some of them are pulled aside. They require additional testing. I'm like, oh, I'm special. I'm special. Maybe they are going to clone me.
What?
No. And I was like,
I know. Whoa,
right?
Whoa.
And so mine was going through additional testing. I was like, okay, I'm special.
That's crazy.
But then about a week after I called and checked in, I got my results back. And when it popped up, I was like, oh, they were probably running it back to make sure that this was correct, because when you get your results back on 23andMe, it shows your ancestry composition, and there's like a world map, and all of the areas that you have like that they can trace back your DNA to are highlighted on the map. Why is mine like the whole globe?
Really?
Let's run through this. East Asian, which includes 45% Filipino, no surprise there, and 2.8% Chinese.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And you know how many times growing up when people would be like, oh, what are you, Chinese? I would say, no. And here we are.
Eating your words, that 2.8.
The 2.8. This is the big shocker. I continue scrolling down. The next highest percentage, European. 41.4%. Basically half.
Okay.
14.9% British and Irish. Okay. 5.7% Scandinavian. That's not small. That's small, but not that small. More Scandinavian than I am Chinese.
Okay.
Some more Northwestern European that they couldn't identify, about 4%. 15% Southern European, including that almost 12% Spanish, confirming that my poor ancestors were overtaken. A little sprinkle of Italian, a little sprinkle of Greek, a little sprinkle of other Southern European that they couldn't identify, a little tiny sprinkle of Jewish, and a little more sprinkle of European.
Oh my God.
Indigenous American, which is the Mexican, I believe, 6.7%. So this brings me back to, what is my grandma? Who is my grandma, actually? Because I was over here thinking this woman was 100% Mexican. And now we know nothing. Now we're confused.
Well, I'm sure she thought that.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm sure that's what she believed.
So, shocker there. A little sprinkle of Indian, like Indian, right? And the tiniest little sprinkle of North African. And these all make sense because they're all next to each other on the map. But, yeah, that is it. I'm a mutt. Confirmed.
Well, that's cool. I mean, that's super cool. It's like your ancestors were kind of all over the place, essentially.
Oh, yeah. There was a...
Me asking for a very simple meaning of what this all is, because I'm just dumb, apparently.
No. There's this thing that it said. Wait, where is it? I liked reading this. Basically, it said that my ancestors were very nomadic, which made me feel connected to them.
Nomadic. Wow.
And I'm like, they were moving. They were seeing the world. I love that for them.
Because they were all mating with different people.
Inclusive runs in my veins.
Love that.
Anyways, I know you guys have been dying to hear those results. So here I am to say I'm barely Mexican. And it didn't help the identity crisis. It actually made it worse. But now we know why I'm a baddie, because I have that little bit of Scandinavian in me and they're all hot.
Oh, I think that you look quite Asian, actually.
Makes sense.
What do you think?
Well, yes, but then when I'm around my cousins who are like 100% Asian, I look mixed. Me and my sister like definitely look mixed next to them.
Okay.
So I think like in comparison to a non-Asian person, I definitely look Asian. But then in comparison to an Asian person, I definitely look mixed.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, recently I just kind of had a really intense travel day from hell. So I guess I could talk about it. But, you know, we have all heard bad horror stories lately at the airports, because the airports, whew, hopefully you don't have to go in one, God willing, because they are crazy places to be at the moment, especially. But Brandon and I recently were going to a wedding in Texas, and this was both of our first times, aside from a layover in the Dallas airport, which does not count. This was our first time in Texas, experiencing Texas. And I did not know what to expect, but we were down, and we were down for the wedding, and we were committed. However, about 2 hours before going, I found out that my grandma was just not doing well. Okay, I don't want to get into details. She had knee surgery, and so she was having like some complications from the knee surgery, which she's all better now. So it's no concern to be had at the moment. But at the time, I was extremely concerned, and we were like, fuck, do we not go? Do we go? This was all happening about an hour and a half, 2 hours before this flight that we were supposed to make. So we were like, I don't know, I was on the fence. I was like trying to get a hold of people. It was very stressful. It was chaotic. They took her in the ambulance. So I'm like freaking out. I'm like, oh my God, what's happening? Is she okay? And essentially, it was down to the wire. We were like, let's just go to the airport, and we don't have to get on the plane at the end of the day if we don't want to. But we went, and then we found out, you know, she's okay. Like, just go. We got the update, all clear. So then we're at the airport. We're meeting with his parents because we're flying with Brandon's parents. And then we're at the airport, and they're like looking at the flight information because we had layovers and stuff. And they're like, we're not going to make our layover. I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Like, we are here, and now you're saying we're not going to make the layover. I guess because our flight was delayed. It had been delayed by a little bit, so much so that now the layover that we had in Vegas, it would be specifically, I think it was 15 minutes from when the plane lands.
Oh.
Okay, so our plane touches down in Vegas to when the gates of the other plane that we have to be on close.
Ooh.
So we're not talking like boarding starts. We're talking like gate shut. Like they were already have been boarded at that time. And we're like, fuck. We're like, what do we do? Thankfully, Brandon's parents were kind of dealing with it because I was like preoccupied with my grandma. I didn't even know if I was going to go, but they were just trying to deal with this for so long. It was such a headache. We decide to just do it.
Get on the plane.
We're like, we're just going to get on. We're going to try. We're going to get on the plane, and we're going to get off the plane, and we're going to just give it our best shot to get to the fucking gate before the airplane closes. And, you know, we were going to try to also be like high up in the plane, you know what I mean? So that we could try and get off the plane fast. But for whatever reason, Brandon and I end up in the middle. We're in the middle of the plane. We're like, oh, this is bad for us. Even the flight attendants are aware of the situation at this point. That's how serious making our flight was. They said a little announcement. They're like, there's people who have layovers and they're cutting it close. Like, if you can stay in your seat, let these people get off first. No one did, which I didn't think they would. I really didn't think that they would. It was fine. I didn't care. I was like, whatever. I'm just here for the ride at this point. I hardly feel human after freaking out over my grandma. And I'm just like, whatever. Like, I'm doing my best. So we get off the plane. We're running. Vegas is a huge airport too. Running through the Vegas airport fully, like
the slot
sprinting.
machines. Ding, 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 ding.
The slot machines in the background.
It's like so
the cocktails
overstimulating
like,
in there.
Las Vegas airport is a terrible place to be. Unless you love gambling and drinking and smoking, okay, then it's great. But like it is very overstimulating and it's spooky. It's dark. There's carpet. I don't know. Whatever. So we're running. Boom, 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 boom. And we make it.
Wow.
By the time we get there, we're like, maybe that flight had been delayed because it was a lot more of a chiller vibe than we were expecting. I had my phone out actually the whole time because I thought that they were going to call our names. You know, they call their names on the intercom. And I was so excited because I was like, I'm going to get this on video. If they try to pronounce my last name on that intercom right now, I will have it on video for the rest of my life. And they didn't. So I was like, okay, I guess we're not that late. And yeah, we made it. The flight was very empty. It was one of the flights where they had to kind of seat people specifically. Otherwise, the plane would like tip over. Did you know this is a thing that can happen?
Yeah, they have to like disperse the weight.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So they had to do that because they were like, not everyone can sit at the front. Otherwise, it's just not going to work. So they had to like push people in the back. And lo and behold, we made it. We made it to Texas. It was 1 a.m. by the time we landed, and then the rental car line was an hour and a half. So by the time we made it to where we're going, it was like 2:30. But we did it.
Well, because you have to also give them the context of what you found out was going on en route and like why the rental car line was probably so long.
Oh, it was the Final Four.
And there was 2 Texas schools in the Final Four, a women's and the men's team.
Oh, yeah. Yes, so there was the Final Four. If you guys don't know what that was, like me, it's a big, big basketball game.
The NCAA College Basketball Championship.
What she said. That was happening in San Antonio where we were going. We were going to San Antonio. So it was chaos. It was so busy. We did not know the half of it. But when you get there, it's like all basketball, everything. Blimps in the sky, basketball players, basketball, ESPN news people. We were like in the background, like everything. And one of the perks of being in the city at this time is that there was a free concert going on. It was Pitbull and Doechii.
No way.
And we were like, we're crazy. Fucking going. Yes. Brandon's parents are down. Down for anything. We're all like, we're going to this free block party concert. And we're waiting in the line to get in. And it starts pouring. Keep in mind, like I said last week, it was 90 degrees. So it starts pouring rain. And then people are saying, concerts canceled. We asked like people working there. Everyone's like, go seek shelter because it's going to start hailing golf balls. We're like, okay. So we all turn around. I'm soaking wet, like fully dripping. And it's also humid and it's 90 degrees. So I feel like I'm in a sauna. You can imagine how fun this was for me, knowing me and how much I hate the weather.
Torrential weather.
Anything except 75 and clear skies, I'm complaining. So this was really interesting. It was hot. It was wet. It was sticky. Oh, it was slimy. And I was stinky. Oh my God, everything was bad. So we walked back to the car. We're calling it a fucking day. We waited in the line just to get rained on, whatever. And apparently the concert, it happened. It was not canceled. They postponed it, but they told us canceled. They specifically, like we heard it from the source, concert canceled. So we, but then they ended up like an hour later restarting it. And we missed Doechii and Pitbull for free. And I'm actually pissed about it.
Wow.
But it's fine. Can you imagine though? That would have been a turn of events. We got a free concert, whatever. So, wedding was beautiful. And then on the way back, same thing happened with the layover. We had to completely change all of our flights because we would not make it to our layover from the one plane to the other because of flight delays and whatever. But that's the long and short of it. And overall, Texas, you're interesting. You're an interesting place. Maybe I need to spend more time there, but
yes,
I don't have anything bad to say at the moment about it, really, which is like, that's huge.
Did you have barbecue?
That says a lot. I did.
Chicken?
We had Pinkertons. Best chicken thighs of my life. Actually,
Yeah?
though. Like, actually, I was like, the barbecue actually was fucking fantastic.
It's like
and
actually
the people
incredible,
eating the
huh?
beef, it was actually so genuinely. I don't eat beef. I eat chicken. The chicken, I was loving it. It was the best chicken I've ever tasted. And the people eating beef were in heaven. Like, they had nothing but amazing things to say about it. And all of the sides, oh my
The
God.
sides are
Actually,
delicious.
one of my favorite meals that I've had. One of my favorite meals, you know what? I'll say it. My favorite meal that I've had this year so far.
Wow.
I think that's
What
fair.
were the sides?
I think that's a fair statement. Potato salad. And it was a good one. It was very mustardy, which is my vibe. Potato salad, cheesy rice. This cheesy rice thing with jalapeno. It was really good. Coleslaw, which I love coleslaw. Exposing myself, I feel that's a very vulnerable statement right there to make. I do like coleslaw.
Cornbread?
Though. And no.
I love cornbread.
What else was it? I think I was probably just me and the potato salad getting it on. Oh, the pickles. The side of pickles,
Yes.
they were the best pickles I've ever had. And I kept saying, if they sold these pickles in a jar, my suitcase would be filled with pickle jars. And it'd probably explode all over my clothes and everything. And I just
Wouldn't
It would
care.
be worth it because the pickles were that good.
No, Southern food, it really does hit different. Like, it genuinely does. Because I've had the Southern barbecue, but also when I went to New Orleans in college, I had like Southern fried chicken. Me and one of our friends from college, we waited in line for like, I swear it must have been an hour and a half, something crazy like that. And one of our Uber drivers, we were like, oh, where should we go? Like, where must we go if you had to pick one place to eat to tell us to go? And I don't even remember the place. Honestly, I would have to look back at my memories. But our Uber driver was like, you need to go here for the fried chicken. They were like, go right when it opens, line up before it opens and wait in line. And we did. And they were like, it's going to be a long line. It's going to be worth it. And we waited in line, like, I swear, like an hour and a half. And it was delicious, amazing, impeccable. Like, you get your food and you don't even care how long you waited in line. It was amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. That barbecue, I'll be thinking about her. And I know it was good because I can taste it now. You know,
You
when the
remember it?
flavors are just, they're so memorable. And you enjoyed the meal so much in the moment that you can just recall it and you can taste, like, I'm mouth watering. I did get sick after. That's why I am more nasally sounding.
Sick. Not from the food, from the trip.
Yeah, from the trip, not the food. The food was, I was only a better person after the food. But after the trip, I did get sick and I'm nasally. So sorry.
I don't think they notice, honestly, when we are.
The last time when I was nasally, which was like a month and a half ago, unfortunately, I was just sick.
It
was bad because I just listened back in that episode and I was like, oh no.
My raspy voice was not noticeable. I'll say that.
It wasn't that bad though. Anywho, let's hear about this chemical peel.
Yes.
Let's hear about it.
Okay, you guys, as promised, last time no, actually not last time, not like last week, but last month, that last episode that we had before the break, I was teasing that I was going to get a chemical peel and I was going to tell you guys all about it. And so I got the chemical peel. I've been healed from the chemical peel. So now I can give a thorough review on the chemical peel. Spoiler, I'm now obsessed with chemical peels. I loved it. And I'll start from the beginning, but I have my appointment and basically ahead of the appointment, you're not supposed to do anything like, you're not supposed to use any strong products the week leading up to it. So no exfoliating and what else? Oh, no retinols leading up to it because it can leave your skin like more vulnerable. So I did that leading up to it, get in, and I wasn't really like super clear on all that it was going to entail. But basically you just go in, they cleanse your face, and then they just apply the chemical onto your face. And so you get
All
that.
right.
Yeah. And then you wash it off 4 hours later, but you get it applied and you leave with it on your face. And the first thing that she told me, I was like, is there anything like that I should know beforehand? She's like, oh, it smells. And that should maybe be like a no duh because it's a chemical. But I just didn't think about that. And I'm glad she told me because it does smell like really strong and not good.
Ew, like what?
Just like strong chemical fumes.
Ew, I hate
and
that.
I know it would make you like very sussed out because you'd be like, should this be on my face?
No, exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking. I'm like, oh, I'd hate that.
No, but wait, the craziest part. Okay, I forgot this one step. Cleanse your face, and then to prep your face, acetone. Acetone can go on your face, apparently. So she tells me I'm going to start applying the acetone. And they give you a fan. Well, at least my place. They gave me a fan so that I can blow the fumes out. But when she started applying the acetone, I'm like, oh my God, it smells so strong. Like it literally smells like nail polish remover, but a million times stronger because it's like by your nose, right? And then once she wiped it like near my nose, I literally could not breathe. Because you didn't want to inhale it because like my body, I think, was registering that it was such a strong odor. And
oh my God.
I was like, I can't breathe. But then it went away after a while, and then she applied the solution, the chemical, I don't know what it would be called, basically the treatment. And it's not drippy or anything. And then after that, I just leave. And you're supposed to like avoid sun exposure and stuff. And then, wait, I need to look at my little paper because I kind of forget. Oh, they send you off with this kit, this like aftercare kit. That sounds sexual.
Aftercare kit.
They send you off with this.
That's hilarious.
They send you off with this aftercare kit. So thoughtful of them. No, it's part of it. Oh, by the way, dialing it back, I got a VI peel. There are different intensities of peels. So you can get like a light peel. I think that's what it's called. And then a medium peel is what I got. And then they have deep ones. And deep ones, I don't think I'll ever participate in because they're like very strong and they're very intense. And it just does not sound like something that I want to experience. But so this was a medium peel. It's called a VI peel. And I guess it's like the brand or like the, I don't know. But like my box that I got, it says VI peel, Vitality Institute. So that's what VI stands for. But 4 hours post-treatment, you wash off with the cleanser that they give you. And then you do like this post-treatment wipe. And it's like this little like wipe that's in a pouch. And there's all of these steps that you have to follow. And then you have to do like another cleanse before bedtime, an hour before, because then you have to do like another post-treatment wipe. And then you have to space it out like 30 minutes after that. Then you have to do another one. And then 10 minutes after that.
Complicated.
I know. And then 10 minutes after that, you have to do another thing or like put the moisturizer. And it's this whole ordeal. And you follow like a more strict regime for like the next 3 days. And then after those 3 days, after all of those like post-treatment wipes and stuff are complete, then it's just cleansing your skin with the cleanser that they give you and then applying the moisturizer. And the daytime, you have to apply the SPF and you have to avoid sun exposure as much as possible. So it definitely is very involved. It's not like something you can just get done and then forget about. Like you have to stick to the schedule. And yeah, my overall review is it didn't hurt me at all, at least. There was like a little bit of discomfort when it started getting really tight. And you're not supposed to itch. Well, you definitely should not because it can create scarring and you can't peel it. And that's one of the hardest parts. When I was telling everyone about the peeling and I'm like, oh, but you can't peel. They're like, oh, that would be very difficult for me, I think, to control that urge. But I saw girls on TikTok and they would get like the beauty scissors, like kind of like the cuticle, like the very sharp ones. And you can cut the dangly pieces off.
Oh my God.
And I did that. And I was so glad that I had some because I just wanted to get like a fresh pair. Because I think I had some that I used for like other things. But I wanted a pair that hadn't touched anything else. And that was like literally only for my face. And I used those quite a bit. But yeah, I'd say I peeled the most like from day 2 to day 4 and 5. I think that's pretty normal. And then after that, it was kind of just like going down my neck, but it starts around your mouth and it looks so nasty when it's peeling around your mouth. I was like, I literally look like I have a disease. I look diseased.
Oh, it wasn't that bad. She showed me pictures, but it looks dry and peely.
Thick peelies. And yeah, it just goes from like your mouth and then continues just moving outward. And it was just funny because in the beginning I like didn't believe that it was going to work for some reason. I was very skeptical. I was like, oh, is it really going to peel? And then every day I was proven wrong. Like, oh yeah, it is going to peel. And then after my like whole mouth area had peeled, my forehead still hadn't peeled. And it was like maybe like day 3, day 4. And I was like, my forehead's not going to peel. And then one day it just started peeling like nasty. And I was like, okay. But I was glad because it was working. But I will say something that is just very interesting is like when I would wash my face, because you're not supposed to scrub hard because you're not supposed to like peel off the skin. So you have to gently wash. And this is going to sound gross, you guys. Just bear with me. This is the real experience. When I was washing my face, you just like feel all of these like lumps of skin, like peely skin all over. And then after I would wash my face, that's when it would look like the most disgusting. Honestly, when it was dry, it didn't gross me out as much, even though it was like flaky all over. But when it was wet, did not look good. I should have taken a video, honestly, so that I could show you.
Ew, did it look like holy, like holes?
Like a bunch of just like clumps and lumps of skin piled up on my face. And then when it would dry down, then they would be like flakes sticking up from my face.
Right. Well, I mean, no one said beauty treatments were cute.
They're not glamorous.
Not glamorous. That's what people do this stuff for real, like all the time to look good. Like celebrities, they probably do it once a month or something. And well, really, honestly, the most jarring part for me was you saying that you couldn't breathe from the fumes. Oh, I hate that.
No, it was.
I would have an anxiety panic attack in the office.
No, that part kind of freaked me out for like a few seconds. I think it was one of those things where it felt like it was happening for longer than it was, you know, because you're like, you slightly start panicking. And I was like, oh my God, I can't breathe. But I wasn't going to open my mouth because she was like wiping like near my mouth and stuff. But then she like turned on the fan because I think I was supposed to have a fan before. And then maybe my body tensed up or something and she like gave me the fan. She's like, here. And it started blowing the fumes. It was very nice. Once I had that, it was manageable. But yeah. And then when Zach got home that day, he was like looking at me. Your skin looks like a little bit darker after because you have the treatment on you. And then I was like, warning you, I think I smell right now, but I can't smell it anymore because I'm used to it now. But then he came like near me and he just like took a whiff and he was like, oh my God, confirmed that I did not smell good.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, the results.
10 out of 10. I felt so smooth.
Wow.
I felt smoother than I've ever felt. And in my opinion, worth it. And then after, well, okay, it was funny. The whole healing process, Zach is like, you can't keep doing this. This is freaking me out. Because it does look kind of freaky. Like, I don't know, just especially as things are progressing. And then after I was fully peeled, he was like, I support you. I support you in doing this like annually or something, because he's like, your skin has never looked cleaner.
Wow. So just like bright, fresh, soft, smooth, like very clear.
Yeah, and so soft, so smooth. And now it kind of doesn't feel as much, but just because, here's the other thing, you guys remember the last time I recapped when I got the Diamond Glow facial, I also got dermaplaning and confirmed I'm obsessed. I have an appointment this weekend to get dermaplaned again, and I think I'm gonna do it every month, honestly, because it also helps with feeling just like so smooth.
Oh my gosh. Ugh. I'm jealous. After hearing Shay's good experience with all these facials and stuff, I was like, I'm booking a facial, which is something I've been putting off for honestly a hot minute. And one of my friends is an esthetician and she does all kinds of facials. And I had a free day and I was like, I'm going to book a facial because Shay is saying all these good things. She was telling me about the dermaplaning and how soft it is and she loves it. And I was like, ooh, I think I want to try that. And okay, backstory on my skin is I have never had the greatest skin ever. I used to have acne and dealing with breakouts a lot more than I do now. Lately, I don't really deal with breakouts too much, but I do have pigmentation like under my skin. And sometimes it's a lot more clear. Like when I wake up in the morning, my face looks clear. But then throughout the day, if I sweat, if I get hot, I get like redness and I get under the skin pigmentation that shows through. And it almost looks like acne, but it's not. It's just under my skin. And then my skin is also dry and oily. Very dry and very oily. Okay.
True combo.
True. It's a mess. It's a mess. And I'm aware. I'm very much aware that my skin is like been annoying because I've been trying to deal with it for a while. I do the hydration thing. I've tried to do the skin barrier thing. But I don't know. I'm like, I need professional help if I want to have skin like Shay.
Stop.
For real. Like the post-chemical peel smoothness. And so I go and I'm talking to her and I'm like, should I do dermaplaning? Like, what do you think we should do? And she's like, I don't recommend anything for you because your skin is sensitive and it's unbalanced. My pH is unbalanced, she said. And my barrier might be damaged. I might have undiagnosed rosacea, which I don't know. I need to probably see a dermatologist or something. I don't know. But she was basically just giving me a lot of really good insight on my skin, which I was asking for. I'm like, tell me what's wrong with me. Are my I always want to say, are my clogs poured? Are my pores clogged? She said no, which is good.
Love.
But she didn't want to do anything fun. Which I respect. She's like, no dermaplaning, no chemical peels for me, at least not right now. She just gave me a very simple hydrating facial with masks and things like that, but kept it really simple. And then she gave me some product recommendations. And most of them were Dermalogica. Some of them were other brands like cheaper alternatives and dupes, but the ones that she mostly recommended for me were from Dermalogica. And I said, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to it honestly was really only 2 products. And Dermalogica always gives you free samples. So I was able to get free samples of all the other things that she had recommended. So I got a good range, 2 full-size products, and then like 3 trials. So I'm like, okay. And she was really nice. She's like, these are expensive, so use it 2 to 3 times a week, whatever. But I said, I want to give it a go. Like, I want to give it a full try and see if I actually see a difference. And honestly, unfortunately, I think I do.
Yeah.
I think I do. Specifically it's called like intensive hydrating cleanser. And she told me when you put it on, leave it on for a couple minutes, like a mask before you wash it off. That alone is so good. I have not had my usual dryness since I've been using that. And then I also got this stabilizing repair cream. It's all very much, for me, it's very much, the words are like repairing, stress skin, barrier repair, calming, soothing, like stuff in that realm. And it's doing what it's supposed to do. It really is. So I'm kind of just sticking with those products and gonna see how it goes. And then I don't know. We'll see how my facial journey progresses, but my skin needs more TLC at the moment.
I feel like that must be very validating for you, because I remember even one of the times that I was over, well, I feel like I'm always like, let's do masks. And you're a little bit more cautious about what you put on your face. And I think sometimes I'm like, you're fine. But that's just because my perspective like on skin is only like through my skin, and my esthetician confirmed that like my skin can handle stuff, which I was a little bit surprised by, because I don't know why I had this like assumption that maybe my skin was a little bit sensitive, but now confirmed, like my skin does handle these treatments and stuff really well. So I guess it's not like sensitive like I thought it was. But now confirmed yours is.
Yeah. On the other hand, mine is way more sensitive than I actually thought it was, because I would never fully say I had sensitive skin, because I'm like, oh, I would say something like, my skin can be sensitive, but I don't think it's that sensitive. Like, it doesn't react to that many things. But now I'm like, actually, apparently my skin is extremely sensitive. That's what all that, the redness and the changes, all that means it's sensitive. So that's great insight to know. And, I will be doing more facials, because she describes it as like, if you go to a bodybuilding session with a trainer and you just do it once, if you expect to have, a six pack, it just doesn't work like that. Same thing with the facial thing. So I'm like, okay, I understand. I see. I'm on the journey. I'm on the journey with you now.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at too. And we have like a little journey that we're taking step by step as well. And one of the things that the esthetician that I've been going to told me, which I had meant to share the first time, but the first that day when we recorded, there was a lot going on that day, so I forgot to share this detail. Maybe I did. Wait, tell me if I did. But essentially, she was suggesting to invest in products that target your problem areas, but then any areas where maybe there aren't problems, that's where you can kind of like go the more affordable like drugstore route. So for example, with me, the things that she suggested that I really should target, and which I already kind of assumed on my own because I kind of clocked that I was having issues in these areas. But for me, she was like, exfoliation is very important for your skin because I get a lot of buildup since I have the large pores, which we know. But she's like, those are the products that I would recommend that you invest in. So this exfoliant that she recommended to me, and then also this chemical exfoliant that I use after cleansing, and the physical exfoliant I use like 2 to 3 times a week. So those I invested in. She's like, everything else, your cleanser, like it seems to be working fine. Your skin's agreeing with it. And it's just like CeraVe, and my moisturizer is like Naturium, and I don't really struggle with hydration or dryness or anything. So she's like, that seems to be working for you fine. Like stick to that. And those are like $14, $20. So like very reasonably priced. The other products, on the other hand, not cheap. But unfortunately, like you were saying about the dermalogic products, unfortunately, the products that she recommended to me that I started integrating that are like the most expensive facial products that I have, they work. They do.
Yeah.
They do the job. The
stabilizing repair cream on its own, even, I'm like, this fucking works. Like, I don't know. I don't think I've been as oily or as dry. Like, I feel like it's doing what it's supposed to do, whatever, stabilizing and repairing, like it says. Big surprise.
Honestly,
that it actually
send
works.
Me the link. I'm intrigued.
Yeah. It's honestly so good. And then I also got like a little micro exfoliant that's it also says calming, sensitive skin, all the keywords. So I'm just going to give it a shot with those products. And then hopefully over time, my skin will be stronger. But yeah.
Wow. I love this journey that we're on.
The glow up. Really, the glow up is real. The glow up really is very real right now. And this is like adult glow up, when you get adult money and then you're like, let's actually fuck it up, I guess, because we can. Because my whole thing has always been, I can do my own masks at home. I can watch TikToks and whatever. No, unfortunately, if you really want to fix your fucking skin, I feel like you do need to see professionals. And
yeah. Also, my perspective on things is going the preventative route with just like beauty rather than what would the opposite of preventative route be? Reactive. The reactive route. So I remember maybe last year I was like, is it time to start getting Botox? And I was like, wait, let's dial it back. Maybe I can try some more intense facial treatments and see if those help target some of the things that I was having issues with, like some of like the fine line situation, things like that. And I think it's making me a little bit more confident in some of those areas that I was getting a little bit insecure about. And I was like jumping straight to like, should I do Botox? But we know how I feel about the injectables, a little spooked. So the preventative route. That's what we're trying first. And who knows, maybe one day. But also, this is a conversation for another day. I think we finally hit the point where people are like, it's going too far. It's gone too far.
Oh, the surgeries.
With the plastic surgery.
The plastic
and the
surgeries.
injections.
Yeah. The plastic surgery and injections is definitely a conversation right now. A valid conversation where people are getting fed up, especially quote unquote normal people, in response to quote unquote famous people doing a lot of things to their face and doing all these changes. And it's just like, what? Like, why is this so normalized to some people? But I agree with it's a conversation for a different day. I guess I will say I do appreciate the honesty and the transparency over all the people who do it and straight up lie to our faces about it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because the surgeries these days are so subtle that they can get away with it. They can get away with doing it and us just being like, wow, they look so young. What skincare routine are they doing? It's not skincare. It's a hell of surgeries. It's hella surgeries, going under the knife and doing a whole bunch of shit. But they just don't tell us. So we don't jump to that conclusion. I do think that the transparency is overall way better and way healthier, though, than the lies.
I agree. It's just insane to see so many subjectively or objectively, Natalie, help.
Well, subjectively means it's like in your personal opinion, and objectively is just like truth.
Subjectively. Beautiful people. I'm like, you are so perfect. Like, what are you doing?
I know. You probably just want to say beautiful people.
Yeah.
Versus like subjectively, I mean.
Well, isn't there the saying like beauty is subjective?
So, okay. You're saying like in your opinion, beautiful people. I see. I know. It's so frustrating, but that's a big topic. That's a difficult one.
Mm-hmm.
All we can really do is do our best to love ourselves, you know? And that's why I also feel like it is helpful when people are so open and honest with like their insecurities, because you're like, whoa, I did not know. Like, I didn't know that other people feel this way like about themselves, especially when you think someone's perfect. And I think it can help us with our own self-image at the end of the day, to be like, I don't want to do all the surgery things like how this person is doing, and that's a conscious decision that we can all make for ourselves. So
Yeah. Well, you guys, I think that's all we have for today. If you want to keep up with us, you can follow us on TikTok, Instagram, subscribe to us on YouTube at Very, Very Delusional. And if you want to get a notification every time a new episode comes out, you can subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, and you will get reminded every Monday morning when a new episode is live. But that is all we have for this week. We'll talk to you guys later. Love ya.
Bye.
Bye.